Welcome to Living Like Vacation, the show where we live our best life and find others doing the same. I'm Joe.
And I'm Gary.
And today we have Dean. He's the general manager of the finest restaurant in New Bern, Persimmons on the Water. Dean also worked at the largest casino resort in the United States. And today we're going to learn about Dean's many talents and how he lives like vacation. Welcome, Dean.
Awesome, thank you.
Welcome. So today we're podcasting. Our sponsor location today is Persimmons. Thanks for that corporate sponsorship there. We really appreciate
You
that.
got it.
We're in a lovely setting here. You can probably see the very famous, it's been around for thousands of years, I believe, the Neuse River.
Yes. Since the dawn of creation, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So a couple thousand.
So I have a question. Since we're talking about the river.
Sure.
Where is the best sunrise and sunset in New Bern?
Ooh.
I'm usually here first thing in the morning, so as soon as I pull in, I'm looking at that sunrise. It's pretty spectacular from here.
I would agree this is the best sunrise because when I worked at the Bridge Point for all those years and I'd make that turn, you could always see it coming up. So to see it from here and not have to see it from, the exit on the highway would be a little better situation.
Yeah.
But for sunset, I think it's, if you're looking over towards Lawson's Creek, it sunsets over that way.
Well, that was kind of the reason why I asked that question, was because the sunrise is coming this way, right?
Yeah.
It's coming from behind me, and it's kind of going that direction. So the sunrise here would probably be better than the sunset,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Oh,
Yes.
absolutely.
But you still get the clouds. You still get a lot of, because we get a lot of clouds. And today, I mean, for those of you out there, there's not a cloud in the sky.
No.
It's pretty much straight up blue everywhere you look. So but unfortunately, it's a little cold out there, so we came inside. But just, this restaurant does not have a bad view, and that's what made me think about it, is that what's nice about it is on the first floor and the second floor, there's a window pretty much on every wall.
Oh,
I mean, a row of them, so you can come here and eat, and you can always get a good view of a sunrise or some sort of skyline whenever you're coming here. So it makes it kind of cool.
And this room we're in, this is a private room that sometimes you open up for dinner.
Yeah, sometimes we use it as breakout. I mean, most of the time, people obviously want to sit out on the deck and
Yes.
inside. So typically, we only open it up when the weather's not cooperating, and outside of that, we'll sell it as a private room.
Had many celebrations up here.
Mm-hmm.
One of my best meals up here too. That time we did that event with our state.
Oh yeah,
Ooh.
I was just talking about that with someone the other
God,
day. Man,
that was
I had such
delicious.
yeah, that whole day was probably one of the most memorable days of my career. To be
Yes.
honest with you.
Remember when Chef did that thing with the ice cream?
Oh
It was
yeah.
like the smoke rolled across the
Oh
table.
yeah, the
Really
what was
set
it,
the
liquid
scene.
nitrogen
Soda?
ice cream.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
That was pretty cool. All right, sorry.
Well, you're talking about experiences here. My favorite experience here, because I've had so many, because I love this place, is I love if you can get a table, you've got to watch the fireworks from here.
Yes.
Because you can sit outside and watch the fireworks,
yeah.
and eat and have a nice dinner and drinks and whatever. And it's stellar.
Flotilla too, right?
Oh yeah, flotilla. I'll tell you, one of the most spectacular times of dining here outside, especially in the summer, is when you have full moon. That moon's usually just right out there above the river. It's big and beautiful. I mean, I can't count how many times. It's just been absolutely stunning and phenomenal, especially as that sun is setting. Really it's like a best kept secret is checking out the moon from the deck.
Some of the moons have been big too.
Oh yeah.
Like big moon.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I've seen
Would
those.
you say you have bigger moons at Persimmons than other restaurants might have?
I would say we definitely
Yeah.
at least 50 to 100% larger than going somewhere else and
That's
looking
cool.
at the moon.
Yeah, if you don't believe them, you have to come see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, a lot of people might not know, but you've been in the hospitality industry for some time, working at hotels, resort kind of combination, plus
Oh, yeah.
full restaurant business. And you're not that old, but you've been in it for a number of years now. What's the most rewarding aspect of working in this industry?
Well, I mean, it's kind of twofold. I mean, first is I get the opportunity to work with a lot of younger people just starting in their working lives, and really being able to kind of mentor and coach and see people grow over the years, especially, hopefully I've had some impact on that, and sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I do for the wrong reasons. But Even, I mean, this will be 18 years that I've been in the business, and I've seen, people start off as dishwashers that are now still to keep in touch with them.
That's
they're doing
cool.
big and amazing things. So, that's always been a rewarding aspect for me. But also too is with the customers, and a lot of times, especially in the hotel business, casino, you really get to know your customers, and you see them often. They become part of family. In fact, I had some regular guests from Texas that used to dine with me every Wednesday at the casino for 4 years, and they just happened to be in Virginia over the summer, and they swung down here to have dinner with me and see me. So it's great for building relationships, and that's really what I'm all about.
Yeah, no, that's cool. And I would think in this, you're bringing a lot of people up. They maybe they got their work permit or whatever, and then all of a sudden they get into a nice restaurant like this. I remember my first restaurant that I worked at was a gas station.
Was it?
Yeah,
What town?
It was in Carthage, right outside of Pinehurst.
Oh, yeah.
And so, I had I had to get up in the morning and make the biscuits at the gas station and all that. But it was nothing like this. I mean, but I always wanted to work because Pinehurst was like right down the road, Southern Pines. So that's a great area. But I ended up being more of the guy that stocked the beer. But I did get up in the morning and do that. But I wanted to get to that point where I could go to a nicer establishment, and always kind of think about that. And so I know there's a lot of stories that happen.
Oh yeah.
My first was Camp David Restaurant in Holly Ridge, North Carolina. It was right down the street, so I could walk there, and I'd work there on weekend mornings. I couldn't work there during school, but I was young. I was probably 13, 14. You had to get a permit, or maybe they probably paid us underneath the table, I think.
Yeah.
One or the other.
Now you're getting them in trouble.
Yeah. They've long closed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah. Statute of limitations.
Yeah. I think I've got it covered. I'm pretty old now.
So I got a question for you, Dean. So you are not from here.
Nope.
And you take this job as a manager of this restaurant. What drew you to New Bern and primarily this restaurant as far as working here?
Honestly, it was the people. If I'm being quite clear on that, I was in Texas before. My wife was pregnant. Wanted to kind of be closer to family, which is Ohio primarily, and never even heard of New Bern, to be honest with you, when I heard about it. But came down. I mean, I fell in love with the town. My wife, and checked it out, and really my mentor and somebody I worked with a long time, Paul Neiswanger, president of First Carolina. He presented this opportunity, and it was an opportunity to work with him again. But really, it just made sense. It clicked. So no regrets. In fact, I've lived a lot of places, and this has by far been the longest I've stayed anywhere. But also, it's first place that feels like home.
That's great. That's great. Gary and I talk about it. New Bern has a vibe to it, just kind of casual and but it's beautiful too.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah.
And I grew up in coastal North Carolina, but once you get to New Bern, it's like, this is where I want to stay.
Oh yeah. I had some friends visit me, friends I grew up with back in Cleveland. They visited me for the first time, and 3 years ago, and I remember the first thing after the first day, he's like, man, it feels like everyone here is on vacation.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, they should form a podcast around this.
Yeah, right. The kids would be geniuses. They'd be celebrities.
Well, that's the thing. You've got this beautiful restaurant, but with it being so nice, you're obviously always going to be busy.
Oh yeah.
So you've got this new farm. How do you find time with all this stuff going on to live like vacation? How do you find some time for yourself?
I mean, that is the key there, especially having 2 young children. I think it starts with kind of what your expectations are of the job, and that's something I've had to definitely learn and adjust and master over my time here and my career in general. Really, when I look at balance now, from a standpoint, is not so much day to day and week to week, but over the course of a year. Because there's times, and it's a dynamic environment. You change some personnel, and you have something like COVID, you have a hurricane come through, and in an instant, you're working 12, 14 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Ooh.
But you know, I'm good with that. When I have to be here, when I have to work and do it, is what it is. And if I don't, I'm going to take that time and I'm going to enjoy it while I can, because I don't know what tomorrow, you know, is going to demand of me. So it's been a hard lesson to learn, I'll be honest. But
Do you normally take like the off season, or do you take a little? You said you don't really so much count on taking a lot of time during the week, but you might take a little bit of time each month.
yeah, usually what I'll do is, you know, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, midweek, you know, will be shorter days for me, you know. And to be quite honest, this is actually the time of year I work the most. And the reason for that is it's slow, you know, got to watch our labor and really manage those expenses, kind of getting through the off season. But it's also kind of preparing and planning and training and hiring and all that stuff for when we do get in season. And I'd say from Easter weekend to Memorial Day weekend is always every year the toughest for me. It's pretty much every day, just kind of keeping up with the demands, hiring and training, and you know, getting all that stuff out. And by Memorial Day weekend, we seem to have figured it out, and we're kind of rolling, and you have the staff going, and you know, you have a lot more money coming in, so it's easier to kind of manage things. And so, you know, it's a little bit more demanding. I can't really take off over the summer, take vacations and stuff like that. I got to be around, but it's definitely not as intense as it is, especially first and second quarter of the year.
One thing I've noticed that a lot of people that we've had this conversation with that work, what they enjoy is that they have another outlet that they detach. You know, like yours is the farm. Another guy we had not long ago was his boat. Like he just got on his boat and he just like lived on the boat.
Riding.
Riding. Yep, riding. There's all kinds of things, but it seems like that's a common theme that people that are, I would say, successful, you know, typically do. They have some way of managing that, you know, in their career.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, I can tell you, you know, especially in the restaurant business, and I think hotels are to the same, is, you know, you're around people all the time. You're socializing, you're talking, you know, guests, staff, everything. And sometimes just having that, you know, kind of alone time and quiet time where you don't have to be on the spot, you don't have to be solving problems and all those kind of things. That time is golden to me.
Yeah, no, that's good.
What do you do at the farm that helps you relax?
Well, we've had it for a year now,
Right.
so
It's already been a year.
Yeah, a lot of it over the last year and even now is just kind of fixing things, bringing things up to date. It was maintained, but you know, a lot of it had been let go in the recent years. Right now, we're kind of planning on, you know, I planted some saplings last year, pawpaw, and persimmons.
Gotta have those.
Yeah. I realized quickly with the farm is, you know, it's a lot of upfront investment, so you're not going to see for years, even if you're lucky to see them in your lifetime. But fixing up the barn, my wife and I are hoping to start a horse boarding business pretty soon.
Very cool.
Out of there, and you know, we're currently most of the fields we have are allocated to hay, but I'm kind of exploring different options of crops that we can do there. And of course, I love target shooting and all that kind of stuff. So.
So you have all kinds of ways to unwind. Some involve actual work, but it's stuff you enjoy doing, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's productive, but I do enjoy it. So, and it's peaceful and quiet out there.
Yeah.
There's no, I don't have to worry about anything, and it's really been enjoyable. And it's also, it's very much linked to my passion of work is working with food and ingredients. And particularly, produce and even mud. My wife and I picked these beautiful oyster mushrooms on a walk 2 or 3 days ago. I mean, they're massive. It was really a cool find. Delicious in a pasta, and there's always those little surprises that kind of pop up. So,
that's cool.
Yeah. So you do walks out there on the farm or in the woods?
Yeah. So we most of it we're outlined by woods. So we do a little bit of woods, but no, we had a beech tree that in the storm that just happened, it had blown down, and where it had blown down, only in a few days, these oyster mushrooms started popping up, not just on the fallen log, but the ground all around it. So it was,
Circle of life.
yeah, exactly.
Well, it's cool that you know what you can eat.
Yeah.
Because I would eat that and be dead. I would eat something that I didn't know. I think you can eat this, and then next thing you know, I'm in the hospital.
Yeah, so the plan was she wanted me to eat them first, and then wait a few hours, and then
Yeah.
it was okay. Then she was gonna
Excellent.
go for it.
That's great. I mean, it's great that you take time to take walks. Now, is this going to be one of those farms where you see where the food ends up here in the restaurant? Is that what you're saying? Maybe, possibly?
I think eventually that's the direction we're trying to go to.
That's cool.
Currently, we have about 10 very high producing pecan trees that I meant to bring the harvest in this winter to use, and it got away from me. But yes, we will be hoping to be offering what we're growing on the farm here at the restaurant. Not exclusively in one direction or another, but what we produce, family's not going to eat all that, so that's the idea.
That'd be nice.
I'd always open for dinner. You can have me over for dinner.
Yeah.
Sounds like it'd be delicious.
Have you named the farm?
No, actually, we have gone. Even last year, we've been talking about it over and over, and we just haven't found that name that sticks yet. But we got a little bit of time, before we open the horse boarding business and all that kind of stuff. So we'll see. I'm sure the answer will be clear when the time is right.
Yes. Keep in mind, live like a farm. Maybe that'd be a good name.
Live like a farm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Gary's
Live
farm.
like Gary's. Yeah, Gary and Joe's maybe.
So when I come here, I mean, and I was telling you this earlier, Dean. We were here last week, and the weather was just phenomenal. I mean, it was weird. It was like the end of the year, and let's give everybody deserved a really great weather week where we live. It was awesome. I mean, in fact, I think the week that prior to that, all the Christmas stuff was out downtown, and I'm paddleboarding by the tree, and all these people are out there, and I'm like, it's so beautiful out there, flat, like kind of like it is today. And so when I think about that, this is kind of a getaway spot, like when I come here to eat. How do you get your staff to kind of go there with you on that? Because, to me, I would be so distracted just because I would just be like, oh, this is awesome. This is so beautiful. Like I don't want to do anything because I'm just wrapped up in the moment. I mean, how do you keep people motivated in the goal and all that with the younger staff and stuff like? Because most of the time, probably have younger people that are coming in and that sort of thing.
Oh yeah. Sometimes it's like herding cats, but generally speaking, it's usually not too terrible. But we're passionate people here. I mean, we're passionate about what we do. Not just about food, but beverage and service and all those things. And so, whenever you're excited about something, especially as a leader, that excitement, that energy transfers to the staff as well. But yes, like I was talking about those moons, and you get the rainbows over the river, and all of a sudden I wonder where everyone is, and they're up here with their cameras, taking pictures, getting their Snapchats for the day, I guess. But
all social media at one time.
Yeah. But
it's great marketing.
Yeah, well, it is, and I think it's it's also a big draw. I mean, a lot of people, if you're gonna have to work in a restaurant, and this is not a bad place to be.
No, not at all. Not at all.
So if I'm coming here and I want to try something, what is it that I absolutely need to try from this restaurant that's going to put me in that living like vacation mode? Or is it what drink is it? What food or what drink food combination?
Oh, that's a great question. Right now we have on the menu a sea bass with a sweet potato risotto that is just phenomenal. I mean, everyone, even when I go out and tell people, find out I'm from Persimmons, they're like, oh, the sea bass. It's a beautiful dish. It's light, but it's filling, and it, we try to change the menu seasonally, but it's kind of one of those dishes that have translated both to a good winter eating and great summer. And then Catherine, our bartender, she's constantly changing the drink menu, but she puts out some phenomenal cocktails there. I always recommend. We got a great wine list and some great North Carolina beers, but she invests a lot of her own time and interest. It's not just what she does for a paycheck. I mean, this is her hobby and her passion. And you know, since she's been along, it's just been exciting seeing what she's been bringing to the table. She's always like 2 steps ahead of me. So.
That's an interesting. I mean, that's a good gift to have. Does she have to come up with like 4 to 8 drinks per season, or how does that work?
Well, it's, you know, I try not to put parameters typically on it. I mean, and oftentimes it's usually we're dialing it back, right?
Oh, okay.
So she's got a lot of great ideas, and we'll put it out there. Well, you know, it's fun too. You know, you bring the staff, at least the ones that are, you know, over 21, and you know, let's try them, let's vote on them, let's see what works and doesn't. A lot of times too is there's some things that I think are phenomenal and are great, and they don't really get ordered all that much. And on the flip side, there's some drinks that I think, well, they'll never take off, but sure enough they do. And I think, you know, every few months or so you're kind of looking which ones are moving, which ones aren't, and how do we switch them out with something new and fun and staying relevant, you know. So. But it's a job of passion, you know, for just like myself, for her, and you know that translates through the drinks and to the customers.
Did the tomato pie get kicked off since the last time I was here?
I
love that thing.
No,
It's fantastic.
No, in fact, we made a mistake a year or 2 ago and took it off the menu, and boy, did we hear about it.
Yeah.
So
Have you had it?
I think I have had that. It's not
good.
what I normally get, but I think I have had that once with several people. I'm trying to remember who it was.
Yeah, I do enjoy it. Obviously, in the burgers and the seafood dishes, I didn't even know that you could get sea bass again. I thought, because wasn't there a period when you couldn't get sea bass?
There's different kinds. We had there was Branzino that we switched to, which was South American. Versus it was like a North Pacific fish.
Nice.
But very, I mean, delicious. You need to try it.
Yes.
All right, you got the deck. The deck has got to have some stories. Now, I see people, when I come here, there are people that come up on their boats. Some of those boats are not going that slow. I mean, I don't think this is a no-wake zone, is it? I mean, it's not here, this is not a no-wake zone.
No.
So sometimes people will come, I mean, buzzing by, you know, because, I mean, they're going somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
I mean... But are there any deck stories that just kind of jump out like, man, you should have been here because, not to name any names or anything, but just, you know, just, I mean, I can only imagine that there would be something that would have happened at some point. Nobody got hurt or anything, but just a funny story where, you know.
Actually, yeah, the first one that comes to mind, and it ties back to keeping the staff engaged during the shift. When, you know, from when I started back here in 2014, we've always had these, you know, stunt planes. Loop-de-loo and doing all these things. And it's like a free show for people on the deck, you know, why not? And, for, you know, first few years I was here, I was like, man, you know, you think he's going to crash. You know, any minute he's going to crash, And one summer, I mean, deck was packed, people had their phones out, I mean, beautiful weather, just beautiful energy, you know, throughout the whole restaurant. And it was one of those times, it was like, you know, he's coming, he's like, he's going to crash. And he actually did. He crashed right out here in the river.
Oh, no, for real?
For real, just boom, smash. And he ejected out. He wasn't injured and it was okay. But there was it was kind of a showstopper at that point.
Oh, my gosh.
I remember we had a guest here that he had pulled his jet ski up to the floating dock, and he was sitting there eating a drink, and he saw it. And I remember he's sitting at the table. He's like going to go out there and help him, but he had to finish his beer first. So he's sitting there pounding his beer down before hopping on his jet ski and shooting out there to get him. So, and then of course, you know, the staff and everyone is just, you know, it just stops. I mean, obviously we were concerned for him, but it didn't take us long to realize that he was okay. I mean, his plane wasn't, but. I think they even ended up landing a helicopter out here in the field to get him some attention. But
he was okay after all.
He was okay, yeah. He ejected out right at the last minute and landed in the water, and you know, no serious injuries.
It's a crazy story.
That is a crazy. I knew there would be one. I knew there'd be one because I mean, since I've been here, I just sit outside. And I'm like, you know, that boat's coming in pretty fast. You know,
There's also, and I've only maybe seen it 2 or 3 times since I've been here, but there's also a guy who's got one of those, I don't know, it's an older model car that was like also amphibious.
yes,
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah, and I get, just somebody comes in and like, dang, someone's driving their car in the river. And,
I had a buddy had to tow it recently.
oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, really?
Because I had other friends in town. They were like, "What is this?" He's like, "Oh, wait a minute, we got to go tow it." They had to tow it in. Now we've known each other for years. We actually work for the same management company, First Carolina Management, that Dean mentioned earlier. One of our other sponsors for today.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
I know one thing that you do that we hadn't really talked about today is you like to travel. It's not just farming for you. To me, it seems like something you like to do when you're not at work. Is that right?
Oh, yeah.
Because you name some pretty exotic places. Like, what do you like to do when you travel? What are you looking for in that experience?
I'm looking for an experience. I'm looking for
You
an
are?
adventure. Going somewhere I haven't been before, doing things I haven't done.
What's your top 3? Why places you've been or things you've done?
Well, I'll tell you, since I moved here to New Bern, I think, the last, and COVID's obviously been a little bit tricky for me in the recent years, but right before then was, I went to Dubai with my father.
Oh, wow.
Dubai
Okay.
and Abu Dhabi, that was a wonderful experience.
Yeah,
Very
that's pretty cool.
eye-opening. Yeah, very cool. I was there for about 8 days. It was not what I expected it to be, to be honest with you.
Is it really flashy?
It is, and one of the things I was hoping, obviously I'm a restaurant guy, so I'm looking for the local food spots and those kind of things. And when I got there, it was it's so geared towards Western culture that you don't have a whole lot of mom and pops there, and authentic food. So and really it's, you've seen the pictures of the Burj Khalifa, the tallest building in the world. I go down there, the base of it is a mall. And you go down to the base of it where you can take the tours up. There's a Texas Roadhouse. Basically, Burj Khalifa. I think it's next to the Red Lobster.
Really?
That's great.
So yeah, it's all your name brands and
Wow.
used to.
That would surprise me.
Yeah.
H&M's there.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything, man, everything. It was that was the one. The resort I stayed in, it's one of the best buffets I've had. It seemed, because it's such a diverse place, so they try to cater to everyone when you do get to those really nice resorts. But don't get me wrong, we had some wonderful meals, but that was definitely not one of the things I was expecting.
Did you go to the world? The islands that shaped like the world?
Yes,
You did?
yes.
Oh, that's cool.
yes.
What does it look like when you're there?
It's kind of odd because you have this expectation because you're used to seeing the aerial views, but when you're driving down the main strip of it, and it's just a series of houses and condos that are on these like strips of land. At the very end of it is a Atlantis resort like they have in the Bahamas.
Okay.
And that's a pretty massive thing, but it's you don't really realize that this
You're
is
in
a
the
man.
world.
Yeah, but
Have you seen this?
I've seen pictures
so
of
cool.
all that. Yeah. I've
And
seen
then
pictures.
the palm tree one. Also, they have an indoor ski in there.
they do. I saw that as well.
Did you?
At the there's 2 just massive malls there.
Oh,
I
okay.
can't remember which one, but yeah, they had indoor ski resort. They even had penguins running around there.
Wow.
And they had the ski lodge and chairlift and everything. So the whole thing is got big glass walls. You're going through the mall and you can sit there and watch it.
So definitely bigger than our mall in New Bern.
I think it's
close?
It's close.
Okay.
I think the Bath and Body Works here is a little bit
Oh,
bigger.
yeah. Probably has better selection. We should film a show at each one and compare
Well,
each mall.
each
Yeah.
mall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, look, if you're coming to Eastern North Carolina, you're coming to New Bern, you've got to try out Persimmons on the Water.
Oh, yeah.
You got to get the sunrise effect. You got to get the waterfront experience. You never know what you're going to see
That's right. Yeah.
on
We've
the water.
We
Yes.
have plenty of dolphins coming up. We've seen some otters.
Any gators?
Have not seen any gators.
No gators.
Good.
Good.
No gators, no manatees yet.
Oh.
But, seen some pretty large stingrays though.
Oh.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
very cool.
Ask for Dean. He'll be around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's always here.
You don't think our sponsors?
Yes. Let's thank Persimmons Waterfront Restaurant. We'll thank First Carolina Management. Thanks, Paul. That's it. Who
That's
else do you
good.
have our sponsors? Anyone else?
I want to thank the Neuse River
The News River.
for
Yes.
being here since the dawn of time. I think it's
Yes.
been here since the dawn of time. I want to
Yes.
thank that because none of this would be possible on the waterfront if it weren't for the Neuse
No,
River.
and thank you for having such a wide mouth, News River.
Yes, yes.
One of the widest in the North America, I believe.
right.
Yeah.
And having water.
Yeah, water. Yeah, water is a big part of it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
water's
very helpful.
Yeah, yeah. Well, thank you, Dean. Thank you for giving
Thank
us some of
you.
your time and spending some time with us and being on our show. And let's live like vacation.